What's up? Good morning, everyone. This is Gail Dudley with your News in Motion, and I am excited to give a recap from yesterday's kickoff of the Democratic National Convention. It was all that. It was refreshing. It was amazing, and I'm excited to share it here with all of you on this morning. Many of you did not make it through the night. You were saying that you're not going to be able to stay awake, but it was absolutely phenomenal. So I am going to give you this quick recap. Again, today is Tuesday. It is August the 18th, 2020. Good morning, Brenda Randleman. All right, as I shared on yesterday, I said things to look for, and it happened. It actually happened. Good morning, Kim Hill. It actually happened. I talked about the theme of being united. We, the people of the United States of America. It was about unifying. It was about connecting. It was about coming together. What's up, Latrice Jones? And that happened. So I shared that with you yesterday morning. So let me get into it. We the people of the United States of America. Yes, I am excited. And if you stay till the end, I have something to share with you. Good morning, Ladybug. I love Eva Longoria. She came out and said, "We come to save democracy." Those were her words. And then she says, "You are we the people." Immediately, she brought all of America in. And it was your choice if you wanted to come into the house or not. But she set that up to bring all of us together. And then she goes on and they had these inserts. And by the way, y'all, during this pandemic, I'm kind of liking this live stream. I can live stream church, more than one. I can live stream concerts. I can live stream Hamilton. Now I'm live streaming the conventions. I can get used to this. Just a side note, I can get used to this. Anyway, we the people need a leader who will unite us, not divide us. That was the first one that came up. The opening and the diversity totally was speaking to America that we are a diverse nation and we have to look like it. We have to mimic it. We have to act like it. We have to understand the differences of people. I love their platform. And then the next pop-up was we need a leader that will do something and not just sit back and focus on themselves. And then it goes on to say, we the people need a leader with a steady hand in times of crisis. They were driving home the point that it cannot just be an island. It has to be a collective bringing together of people. So that's part of it. Now, there were three areas that were covered last night, y'all. Three areas: racial justice, economic downturn, and the pandemic. And they covered those three mass just with such grace, and they were like a master at this. Now, it came out with the DC Mayor Muriel Bowser. She said, we must undo the system. She was she was bringing a call to action. We must undo the system. Then she led into the Floyd family, who honors those lost to racial violence, including their own brother. Yes, that happened. They called the roll, y'all. They called name by name, as many names as they possibly could. And yes, the first name they said was not their brother, George Floyd. They named Breonna Taylor. And then they led a powerful moment of silence to just remember. And it was powerful. Then next, we had Joe Biden, who led a panel called The Path Forward, which included Mayor Lightfoot, Derek Johnson, who's the president and CEO of NAACP, Art, I cannot pronounce his last name, but he's the chief of police in Houston. If somebody knows how to pronounce it, just give me a video so I know, but I don't want to mess up his last name. Then Gwen Carr, the mother of Eric Gardner. Yes, she was on the panel. And then Jamara Burley, a social justice advocate. He led this panel, y'all. I'm telling you, live stream is the way to go. I'm convinced. I love it. And then they go into, we need a leader who will fight for racial justice. So notice they set everything up. Good morning, Kim Edmondson. They set everything up to talk about their first point, which was racial justice. They were driving that home. And it was amazing. Then you got my dude, y'all, Governor Andrew Cuomo. He came out hitting hard about the pandemic. Again, there were three areas: racial justice, economic downturn, and the pandemic. He came out with the response of COVID-19. He says 6 months later, this was a classic quote. He says 6 months later, the nation is still unprepared. Ouch. 6 months later, the nation is still unprepared. Then he goes on to say our nation is in crisis. His other quote was, of course we can social distance because staying away shows how close we really are. If that wasn't a masterful quote, that was just amazing. He hit home with that. Then he says his final quote was, we need a leader as good as our people. And he calls Joe Biden, and then he says, America tough. So that was Governor Andrew Cuomo of New York. And then speaking of the pandemic, let me give y'all numbers. I'm not done recapping, but let me give you numbers. I'm inserting those here. You know I get them from the World Health Organization. 5,612,027 cases, 173,716 deaths, 2,973,587 have recovered. Then that followed with Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, who talked about jobs. Again, they had 3 points: racial justice, the economic downturn, and jobs. The pandemic. So then after that, she talks about jobs, specifically the auto industry. She talks about jobs, and she really made a case for where we were as Americans to where we are today. She talked about that. If y'all listen, again, go beyond the sound bites and hear what they're saying. It all lined up. This is information we can use to convince other people it's time to register to vote and vote. Then on top of that, we had a long-time GOP's speak at the DNC, not just one. We all thought it was just John Kasich. No, there were several. We had former Governor Whitman of New Jersey. That was Meg Whitman. We have Susan Marley, former rep of New York. We had former Governor John Kasich right here in the state of Ohio, who I did vote for. He called Joe a unifier, a restorer. And yes, there are some areas where Joe and I disagree. He was very, very upfront about that. He said, it's okay because this is America. So listen, y'all, we're going to disagree on some things. There's not going to be one candidate that we're going to like everything about their platform. If you do, that's just crazy. Just like people who say their marriage is the best marriage, that's a lie. That's a lie. Talking about they don't never argue, that would be a lie. That ain't true. That ain't true. Me and the Reverend Dr. Kevin Dudley, we do have some disagreements. There's days we don't talk for several days, but because of the love we have for one another, we come back together. There are disagreements, y'all. Every household has disagreements. So anyone that you're going to vote for, you're going to have disagreements. And it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. One person cannot speak for all of Americans, but one person can bring together different people to build America to who we know we are meant to be and who we strive to be and what we are. We are a diverse nation, and it's time for us to act like it and cut out all this division. So even if people thought, oh, it's just John Kasich, no. And I'm watching some of the Fox News pundit and other people who are coming out saying, oh, they just had John Kasich. Well, no, John Kasich wasn't for us. If you're a Democrat, wasn't for us. John Kasich was for the Republicans, and all the other Republicans were calling them forward, saying this is not the America we know. We can be conservative, but this division, this ugliness, this where you're not going to get the intel. No, that's not who we are. So y'all, we the people. No, this election is bigger than politics. That was another highlight they brought out. The Republicans came out swinging, y'all. They did. They came out swinging, and they were getting behind Joe Biden. Even the other clips throughout where people were coming forth saying, hey, I voted for the occupant the last election. I'm not doing it this election. It's just absolutely amazing. All right, y'all, UPS. Not UPS, the United States Postal Service, excuse me, not UPS, but the United States Postal Service. When that number came out, when Eva Longoria came out with the number, 33 million people voted by mail in the 2016 election. Boom. So what's the problem now? And then Senator Amy Klobuchar, she wasn't playing either. That sister is on fire. She said, unity is about striving for something more. It's a better future for all of us. It's more than a motto. Then she says, we need a president for all of America. She came out tough. Then we had Senator Bernie Sanders. You know, all eyes was on him. What was he going to say? Was he going to be a push? I remember texting my friend saying, if he would have said that with Hillary, we wouldn't be in this mess now. And I didn't use the word mess, just keeping it real. He says racism, climate change caused this election the most important. He calls for a movement to stand up and fight and say, we need Joe Biden as president. That was his quote. He goes on to call his supporters to get behind Joe. He said, y'all, the unthinkable has become normal, and we can no longer normalize the unthinkable. He talked about economy, jobs, childcare, climate change, healthcare. He talked about it's time to cancel the school to prison pipeline. He said, end hate and division, an ugly attack on women. Yeah, he went all that. Then Bernie called to unify and get behind Joe. Sanders said, Joe Biden will move us forward. That's what he said. And by the way, y'all, complete the census. You can go to 2020census.gov. Y'all, it is serious. We need to complete the census. Then they go on to say, we the people need a leader that looks out for us and not for themselves. And then the final 18 minutes are my forever First Lady, Michelle Obama. She said, she broke it down. She said, this is over his head. And then she goes on to say, it is what it is. For the first time, she called him by name. She called him, and I have to say it because I'm quoting her. She called him by name. She says, Donald Trump. She said that this job is over his head. And then she goes on to say, and I could just feel her like, it is what it is. You know, she didn't get that, but she was powerful. She was fierce, she was strong, she was elegant, she was classy, but she wasn't playing, y'all. She called the people to attention. She's like, listen up, people. This is what's happening. She goes on to say it's a hard time and everyone is feeling it in different ways. She said the ability is to listen. He doesn't listen. She talks about each life has meaning and worth. These are different quotes I pulled out. She goes, you cannot fake your way through this job. Boom. That's what she said, y'all. Then she said, being president reveals who you are. She goes, whenever we look to this White House for leadership, we get chaos and division and a total lack of empathy. That's what she said. She was calling the roll. It was, and I love how Nicole Wallace said it yesterday on MSNBC or last night. She said, former First Lady Michelle Obama was throwing epic shade. Those were her words. That was Nicole Wallace quote. She said she was throwing epic shade. Then she goes on, she asked the question, y'all. Remember I was saying yesterday morning, what's the question? What's the strategy? And Michelle Obama, we got to be sisters or something. She said, so what's our strategy? Y'all, what are we going to do? We know what's happening. We see what's happening with the Postal Service in plain sight. We see what the conversation is about the absentee ballots. We are understanding what's happening. We understand what's happening in the undercurrent. What's our strategy? Y'all, we have to strategize. You have to strategize within your own community and ask the question, what are you willing to do? Y'all, it is not time to rest. So you know what? I'm going to take that back. Take the next 4 days, take some notes, get motivated, take the weekend, practice self-care, and then we're all in, y'all. We're all in. If you got to wait until Labor Day, you might be waiting too late, but okay, Labor Day it is. But we got to be all in, which means we have to hit the ground running until November the 4th. November the 4th, we can sit back just for about 7 days, and then we have to come back out and hold our elected officials accountable. Y'all, so what's the strategy? She goes on to say, going high is the only thing that works. She talked about people say, do you still have that same feeling of when they go low, we go high? And she says, going high is the only thing that works. Going high means standing fierce against hatred. She goes, we are one nation under God, unlocking the shackles of lies and mistrust. Y'all, yeah, I grabbed all that. Those were all of her words, She talked about that they're closing down polling locations. So what are we going to do? Y'all, they need poll workers. Every city, every state needs poll workers. You can go to eac.gov to become a poll worker. EAC.gov to become a poll worker. Y'all, we need to register to become poll workers. We need to. We cannot allow polling locations to close because they're going to hit us in the lower income areas, the marginalized areas, the black and brown people areas, y'all. We have to take responsibility and say, I'm going to show up and be a poll worker. They are purging voters. Check your voting record. You can go to her. Now, she started this one, whenweallvote.org. Whenweallvote.org. You can go there and check your information. You don't want to go there? Go to iwillvote.com. So if somebody's here, please plug those in. I mean, use the www so we can have the whole link. Whenweallvote.org, whenweallvote.org, and then iwillvote.com. All right, y'all. She says we have to show up. She says, vote early, vote in person if you need to. She says, vote early. So the moment you know you can vote early, go get in line and vote early. She goes, request your absentee ballots. Most people have done that. We just, with mail, we don't know if they're ever going to come. And then she goes, we got to be willing to stand in line all night if we have to. She said, pack that brown bag of lunch and breakfast if you have to. She's calling us to action, y'all, and it's time for us to stand up and go forward. Oh, man, y'all, there's so much in the news. I do want to give this fun fact because I just think it should be fun fact. This is as seen in Bloomberg media. So, y'all, do y'all know there's a pepperoni shortage? There's a pepperoni shortage. Now, they went from Perel to toilet paper to coins to money. She goes, and they say now pepperoni. So, y'all, there's a shortage in America's most popular pizza topping, pepperoni. So that's a fun fact. And now here's one more, and I gotta share this, y'all. I just gotta share it because I saw the news. I had to tell y'all. Now, there's this restaurant in Chinese city of Shanghai. It's a restaurant that you have to step on the scale before going into the restaurant. Yeah, that's really happening. It's really happening. Can you imagine in America if we had to step on a scale before we went to a restaurant? We won't have a weight problem. We wouldn't have a weight problem. But that's what's happening. So those are just two fun things. But y'all, that's the recap. That is the recap. And I'm excited. I gave y'all every quote that I could give. I told my friends I couldn't even talk with them on text message because I was busy focusing, trying to get all of that. So that's a recap. I gave y'all 20 minutes worth of recap before the win. And I want y'all, if you're on here, please don't go off yet because I got something important to share with you. But for the win, we have Marley. Marley is a teen activist from West Orange, New Jersey. She has the win. If you don't know about Marley, Google her. Marley has a book drive that focuses specifically on books in which Black girls are the main characters, not minor or background characters. She launched a campaign called 1,000 Black Girls Books in 2015. And the goal is to collect 1,000 books to donate for Black girls. In just a few months, more than 9,000 books were collected. She was also yesterday. Gail is on fire. What's up, Kim Carter? What's up? Yo, I am on fire. And I got to tell y'all something, so hold on. But Marley was on yesterday as well. It was interesting. I was watching MSNBC. That's my go-to, but I go to all of them. I go to BBC, PBS, CNN, and I go to Fox News too. But my go-to is MSNBC. Well, I love me some Rachel Maddow, but she kept talking. And I'm like, I tweeted them, like, I'm going to need Rachel to be quiet. She can give her commentary after. I want to get everything and I want to hear what Eva has to say. Don't break. You don't have the time for the applause to do any of that, Rachel. And Rachel stopped talking. There was a lot of people that was retweeting that tweet. Now, I don't know if that's why, but now, Rachel, you can't do that tonight. We're not going to have that. You can talk afterwards like y'all did. That was fine. So what am I wanting y'all to do? I want us to mobilize. So my inspirational message is we have to come together. We have to come together. Think about the book of Acts. They would come out, Paul would give a word, and thousands would join. Thousands would give their life to the Lord. Thousands would come to know Jesus. And it's time for us, y'all, to go out and begin to proclaim the truth of what's really happening. So here's what I want to share with you. And I'm cool. But I'm getting a lot of attacks and backlash because they're like, you are a Christian woman. You're giving news in motion. Of course, you're one-sided. Yes, I am. I don't apologize for it. They're one-sided too. And I have people saying to me, that a person that believes in the Democratic agenda could not be Christian. So I'm getting that. And I'm like, I'm ready for the fight. But I'm going to need you all to come along and be with me too. I can hold my own. I got some good sister friends. I got some good male friends. My husband's got my back. I'm good. I'm good. But if y'all are on social media and y'all are seeing them coming at me, I'm just asking y'all to step in if you believe you want to step in. But the time out for that. But that has been a lie that has been told for so long, that people who vote Democrat are not Christians. That's a lie from the pit of hell. The Jesus I know is very diverse. The Jesus I know is very radical. The Jesus I know is sitting up on the throne right now saying, you go, Gail, you go. Use my voice and speak the truth. I love Jesus. I'm going to continue to follow him. And if you are a Republican and you don't like what I have to say, then stop watching. That's where I'm at with that. But no, let me back up. No, keep watching, because maybe you'll get delivered from the bondages that you have been in. Yes, we're all in bondage. We've all fallen short of the glory of God, but I believe in speaking truth. There was a time I would have shrunk. Not today. It ain't happening today. No, because we have to tell the truth, because the truth will set us free. The truth will set us free. Now, look, I'm on here for the long haul. I'm in here through November, because after November, I'm going to hold these elected officials accountable. You all have asked me to run for office. Nope, not doing it. I'd rather do what I'm doing right here, right now, and do what God has called me to do in this season. So, with that being said, if I'm going to give up everything else to continue to move this forward, I'm going to need your help. And I don't ever ask for this. But if you want to send a Cash App to say, you know what, Gail, keep researching, keep reporting, keep sharing. My Cash App is the $M I am today. That stands for Ministry in Motion. M as in Mary, I am as in Mary today, TODAY. That is the Cash App. If you want to sponsor a segment, just email me. Say, hey, I have a business. I want to sponsor a segment. I will just give you that segment information. But y'all, we can't quit. But I'm going to need you to help me to continue to do what I am doing. Y'all, this is Gail Dudley, News in Motion. Tuesday, August the 18th, 2020. I got to run over to IG. But listen, watch tonight. Watch tonight. See what the lineup's going to look like tonight and see where they're going. I'm sure you're going to hear more about the Postal Service. I'm sure you're going to hear, oh, by the way, 10 machines from 10 of the sorting machines were removed from the Michigan main post office on yesterday. So y'all, we have to organize. We have to strategize. I believe, as I said yesterday, we have to be watchmen and watchwomen on the wall. If we see something, say something, and make sure we are notifying everyone, but make sure it's legit. Make sure it's legit. Make sure you're not posting pictures that have been doctored. You can check to see if pictures have been photoshopped. And there are some out there. We have to be diligent. We have to be faithful. We have to stay on the court. Until tomorrow, I am Gail Dudley. Share this information on your personal Facebook. Yes, Latrice Jones. Please share this video. Please. There was a time I would have never done any of this. But God is like, it's time for me to come out. I got to come out and do this. So thank you, Latrice, for sharing that. Tonight is Bill Clinton. Jill Biden, you're right. Yeah, Jill Biden tonight. And then you can check it on CNN, MSNBC, PBS NewsHour. Fox was in and out with it, CBS, NBC, ABC, and then you can also go to the Democratic National Convention.com website. It might be .org. It's one of those. But you can go to their website and live stream it from there as well. All right, y'all, I got to go to IG. They be waiting for me. They be like, where are you? So I'm Gail Dudley. Until tomorrow, 7:25. Peace out.